We're recording. So in arithmetic series, the fifth term is T5, and the fifth term T5 is 13, and the eighth term T8 is 22. Find the first term A and the common difference D. So what you need to remember about sequences is if you have T1, T2, T3. T1 is A, T2 is A plus D, and T3 is A plus 2D. Now, we're using T5 and T8. So using this pattern, you now know that T5 is going to be A plus 4D, and you also know that T8 is going to be A plus 7D. Okay? Now, you're going to use simultaneous equations in this exercise. So the first is going to be A plus 4D equals 13, and the bottom one is going to be A plus 7D equals 22. Now, my advice is in these questions you can either get rid of the A's or you can get rid of the D's, but getting rid of the A's is easier. So what you can do is multiply. There's two equations here, A and B. Multiply A on both sides by minus 1. And what happens when you multiply on both sides by minus 1 is you end up with minus A minus 4D equals minus 13. Okay? Once you multiply both sides of the same equation by the same number, it works out. So finally you're going to take them away from each other, and what you should get is the A's will cancel. 7D minus 4D is 3D. 3D will equal 22 minus 13, which is 9. Therefore D equals 9 divided by 3. D therefore equals 3. Once you know what the first letter is, you're then going to substitute it into either equation A or equation B. We're going to use equation A in this case. A is A plus 4D equals 13. However, if D is 3, 4D therefore must be 12. So A plus 12 must equal 13. Therefore A plus 12 is 13. Therefore A must be equal to 1. Therefore this series starts at the number 1 and it goes with a distance or gap of 3 every time. So this is your series here. And that is question 2 completed. Now, another approach to doing these type of questions is sometimes you can use simultaneous equations. Other times people have a different method. So for instance, T1 is A, and let's say T5 is A plus 4D. Now the difference between T1 and T5 is 4 distances. So D. So you add on the common difference 4 times. So therefore, therefore T5 minus T1 is 4D. Therefore, 19 minus 7 equals 4D. 12 equals 4D. D therefore equals 3. Okay? Now, you're told that T1 is 7. Therefore, at the start of the question, you already know that A equals 7. Okay? So the answer to part 1 is D equals 3. Now they're going to ask, find in terms of n an expression for Tn, the nth term, hence or otherwise find T20. It's an arithmetic series, therefore you use the arithmetic formula for the nth term. And all we have to do now is fill in the numbers, okay? So it's going to be 7 plus n minus 1 times 3. You're going to multiply them out. And what you get is, you get 7 plus 3n minus 3. And then finally, you're going to get 3n plus 4 for Tn. So that's the first half of part 2 answered. And what they want as well is, they want me to find out what T20 is. To find out what T20 is, all I need to do is replace anywhere I see n, I replace it with 20. And I'm going to get 3 times 20 plus 4. And what I'll get here is 64. So T20 is 64. Okay. what happens here is the following. We're asked which term in the sequence is 100. So what he's basically asking is, what value of n do I have to put in to make it 100? So what we say is that Tn equals 100. Therefore 3n plus 4, which is how we get the value of Tn, must be equal to 100. What we do next is we bring over the 4, and we get 3n equals 100 minus 4, which is 96. 3n equals 96. Therefore, the term that adds up to 100 is n equals 32. Okay? And that's that question there completed. Arithmetic series is defined by that each term in the series goes up by a fixed amount. In the following series, that fixed amount is 2. 2 is referred to as a constant. Okay? This means that it basically, the gap will keep going up by 2 forever. Okay? No matter how high in the series you go up. Now, to do these questions, what we need to do is the following. There's a technique for this, a very specific technique that they want you to use. The technique is, they want you to say that Tn minus Tn minus 1 equals a constant. Now, what this formula actually means is the following. It actually means that if I was to replace n with 4, for instance, this would be T4 minus T3. So you want, and if I said, for instance, n is 10, it would be T11 minus T10. We want to prove that this is the same value no matter what value of n I put in. Okay? So here's how we do the following technique. What we do is, we write down what Tn is, and in the questions you're given what Tn is. So we're going to do question 3 starting off. We're told that Tn is 4n plus 5. And we next have to figure out what Tn minus 1 is. To do Tn minus 1, simply replace n with n minus 1. So 4 bracket n minus 1 plus 5. And what we get here is 4n minus 4 plus 5. And then we'll get here is 4n plus 1. Okay, so this is 4n plus 1. Now it tells me to get Tn, whatever it is, put into the red brackets there. Get Tn minus 1, put it into the brackets, and take them away from each other. The answer I should get will be the common difference. Okay, so let's see if that turns out to be true. So what we get is 4n plus 5. 4n plus 5 minus 4n plus 1. And what we can see here is that when you multiply it in, please remember that minus 1 exists here. So you have to multiply both of them by minus 1. So you get 5n plus 5 minus 4n minus 4. And what we're going to get next is the 4n's will cancel. 5 minus 4 is 1. The common difference is 1. Yep. Question hands. Okay. Quick mistake here is that minus 1 multiplied by 1 is actually minus 1. So it's not minus 4, it's minus 1. And therefore the common difference is 5 minus 1, which is 4. Now, you can always check out your answer, because you know that Tn is 4n plus 5. So you could always check out your first two terms. So T1 would be 4 times 1 plus 5, which is 9. You can only do, this is not part of the question, just to check your answer. T2 is 4 times 2 plus 5, and that is 13. So you can see that the common gap is 4, and T3 is 4 times 3 plus 5, which is 17. So you see that there's a common gap of 4. Now, the next question we're going to do is number 9 as well, just to try this again. Now, when you see this question, it's going to ask you, show that the sequence is arithmetic. So to show that the sequence is arithmetic, you simply use this formula here, Tn minus Tn minus 1. The question will tell you what Tn is. Tn is 7n plus 1. Then you won't be told what Tn minus 1 is. So it's going to be 7 times n minus 1 plus 1. Okay? Then what you get here, so it's 7 multiplied by n multiplied by minus 1. So you get 7n minus 7 plus 1. Tn minus 1 therefore is 7n minus 6. Now put them into the red brackets. So we're going to get 7n plus 1 minus 7n minus 6. Please remember your minus 1 in here. You multiply it out. You get minus 7n minus 1 multiplied by minus 6 is plus 6. This is 7n plus 1. Once again, the 7n's cancel and you're going to be left with 1 plus 6, which is 7. The common difference is 7. Because 7 is a constant, this makes this an arithmetic series. The next type of question is different from questions 1 to 9 in the regards that in questions 13 and 18 you're given the nth term Tn of a sequence. Show that the sequence is not arithmetic. Not arithmetic. So this means that like the previous questions you're going to get Tn minus 1. However, if it's arithmetic, the answer is constant. What a constant answer means is that it will be a normal number like minus 3, 5, 8. These numbers are constants. However, when it's not an arithmetic series, you'll get an n in the answer as well. Okay? So we'll show you an example. So the example would be this. Tn, we're going to do number 17. Tn is 2n squared minus 1. Tn minus 1 means replace n with n minus 1. So you're going to have n minus 1 squared minus 1. Next thing, we got to remember BOMDAS. BOMDAS states that you got to do your brackets. None can be done within the brackets, but you got to square out your brackets before you multiply. So we're going to do this: 2 bracket n minus 1 bracket n minus 1 close bracket minus 1. This time we're going to keep the 2 outside again, and we're going to do n by n squared. N by minus 1 minus 1n minus 1 by n minus 1n minus 1 by 1 plus 1, and then you're going to have minus 1 at the end. Now what we got to do next is we got to tidy up the bracket, and we're going to get n squared minus 2n plus 1 minus 1. Okay. Okay, what we're going to have next is 2 multiplied by n, 2n squared. 2 multiplied by minus 2, minus 4n. 2 multiplied by plus 1 is plus 2, minus 1. Finally, it's going to turn into 2n squared minus 4n plus 1. Now, what we got to do with this answer is we're going to bring it up here and use it in the following equation. Okay, so what we know about the next part is that we know that Tn, this part here, is 2n squared minus 1. So we know that it's 2n squared minus 1. Okay, so Tn is 2n squared minus 1, and what we got to take away from that is we got to take away Tn minus 1, and we know that Tn minus 1 is this part here. So we're just going to bring that beside it and take it away. So that's it there, and then you put in your brackets. Now we're not expecting the answer to be a constant this time, so you get 2n squared minus 1. Minus 1 multiplied by 2n squared is minus 2n squared. Minus 1 multiplied by 4n is plus 4n, and then minus 1 by plus 1 is minus 1. Take them away from each other, we get 2n squared minus 2n squared. Cancel each other out. You get 4n minus 1 is minus 2. You notice that the difference this time is 4m minus 2. This is not a constant. Not a constant because of the variable n. Because there's an n in the answer for the difference, it's not an arithmetic series.